Hi, and welcome back. So week one is through and we've gone into week two. As I told you, week one was kind of designed to open you up. Week two is designed to expand on what we did in week one. I know the video was a little tough. I know that it was strong, but there's a reason for that. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So as I told you in the last week's video that, this is really about kind of breaking the surface. I think I use gardening as the metaphor, breaking the soil and preparing to plant seeds so you could reap a harvest from the growth that takes place. And this is another part of that. The video you watched, the second video you watched, was deliberately chosen, as you could imagine. But I want to ask you a question. In regards to having somebody speak in this term so deliberate and so direct, when was the last time you've been able to engage in the conversation or in this type of environment and held yourself to the fire, prevented yourself from leaving, checking out mentally, emotionally, or physically? Oftentimes when people have these strong attitudes and opinions about things that we are uncomfortable with, we check out. I think we talked about that with the 6 Ds. Now, it doesn't have to be a physical departure. It can be emotional, it can be a mental departure, but we depart. But with this video we saw with Kimberly Jones, because you were in an isolated environment, because you are in this cohort, you didn't check out. You had to stay there. And for many of us, this is the first time we've ever sat through and listened to a person who had feelings, who had an attitude that may have been different than the one we think is right regarding the same situation. So Kimberly Jones allowed us not only to break the soil, but actually dig a little deeper. And with the use of the pyramid tool and the 6 Ds, particularly the pyramid tool, what we're able to do with that is to ask ourselves interesting questions to get down to the next level and the next level and the next level. Not only for ourselves, but really in regards to what the other person may be saying, seeing, or thinking, or feeling regarding the same situation. Was she angry, or was it righteous indignation? Did she scare you? Why? If that was something that was up front, in front of you live, would you have checked out? You see, with what we've done in the first week and what we did in this week, we've given ourselves a platform, a staying platform, for lack of a better term, that allows us to sit and listen, to participate in ways we normally wouldn't. And we have a tool. We have a couple of tools, a list of words, and we have a pyramid diagram that allows us to check ourselves and check in with ourselves as we feel these feelings and these emotions coming on that we are uncomfortable with, that we've probably never stayed with in the past. So where do we go from here? We've had one difficult conversation, and then we've been stayed into another difficult situation or conversation. And in doing so, we've had to do some exercise in regards to what it is we're actually doing while we're there. What's the benefit? How do we benefit others while being in the situation? You're taking allyship to a new dimension. Because typically what happens is people would get upset from their living room sofa, their recliner, walk out in the street, hold up a sign, yell, scream, argue with other people at the gas station, whatever it takes to be quote unquote woke. But now we're at a new level. We're at a new place. We're engaging with it a little deeper. We're finding new meaning. We're finding ourselves in a more challenging perspective, in a more challenging position. We're redefining what allyship is and how we participate in these critical moments. So as I said, where do we go? Where do we go from here? Well, next week, there is even more challenge coming. And we're going to have even more meaningful, deeper conversations. So this week, for the week coming through, revisit the video. Use the pyramid as you do. Look at some of the materials that we've been given to you last week. Prepare yourself for being able to stay connected with yourself, identifying your feelings and being able to realize that they're there, knowing that they won't hurt you, but staying with them and staying with other people, participating, being able to look them directly in the eyes, being able to ask meaningful questions, to drill down into what is really transpiring. The effect of what you see is probably brought on by years of things that happened in the past, or maybe something unresolved in the past, or maybe it's an ongoing situation that repetition is just worn a person down and wham, now we get the raw emotion. But we're exercising being present. We're exercising being stable. We're exercising being strong. We're exercising being inquisitive. We're exercising what it takes to be in relationship and communication with people in the most difficult and challenging situations as it relates to race and race relations. I'm hoping that what is transpiring within you is that you're asking yourselves new questions. I'm hoping that what is happening within you is that you're practicing new behaviors for yourself and recognizing what it takes to be in relationship with other people. I'm hoping that within yourself, you're recognizing a new dimension of what race and racism is. We're going to have that conversation and many more just like it in the very near future. So do your homework, do the call to action, and be prepared for the next course, next class. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you again next week. Until then, be good and true to yourself. I'll see you next week.